Hey minions, welcome to Crank It Up. I'm Jim Price, and on this episode of the Gauntlet, I want to talk about disco dancing dinosaurs. In addition to being one of the greatest mental images I could conceive, this is a combination that I've loved since the disco dancers' earliest days. Call me sentimental, but I do enjoy a good dinosaur pairing, and these cards line up really well for each other. But, as I was designing the teams for the tournament, I also wanted to ensure that I had specific pairings that could eliminate specific other pairings, to ensure that every counter had a counter, and that no team would go unscathed. This team was among those particularly chosen to combat superhero princesses and the effects of Eliza. One of the best ways to do that is raw power, using single cards, but the disco dancers get extra mileage out of those individual cards. I was really happy with Kung Fu Fighting Dinosaurs, as they did exactly what they were supposed to do, and they made it to the final four. But their lack of card draw hurt them, and the disco dancers have decent card draw to combat this. Unfortunately, one of those cards is tied into Get Down Tonight, which is a weaker finisher than the dinosaurs can offer, but Disco Inferno and I'm So Excited help speed up your draw, and every card matters. Additionally, Disco Inferno is the type of mid-game action that the dinosaurs desperately need. I also think that recurring the powerful dinosaur cards is more important than drawing all of them, as you can repeat what few cards you draw for devastating effects. The obvious plays focus on augmentation and its ability to be copied to multiple minions. Outside of canceling the copying minion's ability, this is unblockable and does not require any additional cards. Augmentation on a non-diva will give each minion +4 power for a total of 8. That's in addition to the minion's power, and it stacks for each minion who copies it. If you can get Dancing King, you could potentially apply augmentation twice and be looking at 12 or more power from augmentation. Howl is not copy friendly because everyone is already affected, but it does not need to be. Howl is great for the rollers because they will get +2 power as a result, and they can be on any base. This can hurt you as it prevents a means to increase your power on a future turn, but it also makes them harder to destroy. Worst case scenario, you could always copy Howl with Dancing King onto an opposing minion if you needed that extra power. Howl also allows your divas to not waste their action copy so that they can save it for something else, like I Will Survive. Given how crucial the divas are to efficiency, using the I Will Survive route to get all of them back and another minion can allow you to use them later for the augmentation boost. What's great about the augmentation boost is how little power it adds before exploding. You are incrementally adding 3 power at a time, which is nothing earth-shattering. Even if you use its reigning men to play 2 of those divas, that's still only 6, and requires an extreme burst to overcome. However, the next minion, and it doesn't even have to be a diva, will add 12 power from augmentation and whatever the minion's power is. That's from one action play with minimal power creep beforehand, which is great. You can also set this up with We Are Family, turning any minion into a diva. What's really interesting is that both We Are Family and augmentation can target any minion, so you could possibly put +8 power on your opponent. Situationally, this is extremely useful. Depending on the draw, I might have bigger plans for I Will Survive. If you happen to draw one of your king minions with this team, you should strongly consider saving it for the other. Dancing King and King Rex synergize so well with each other. Dancing King is so powerful that he is a magnet. As an opponent, I need to play on that base because it might not be around for my next turn. If I see Dancing King on one turn, I can play King Rex on the next to go to 12 power, then play augmentation to add another 8 for 20. That's plenty of bases that I can break by myself, and with just a little help from some others, I can break more. Then, after the base scores, I can use I Will Survive on both minions and get them both back. The incredible thing about this is that Eliza cannot block it because I only played one extra card. I just happened to apply both effects twice. This is important because if you can get Eliza off the board, you have some fantastic 0 to breakpoint strategies. The disco dancers happen to have the extra actions that the dinosaurs love, as a future King Rex play can lead to 2 actions, one of which is augmentation and the other is rampage. Any base of 22 or less could be yours uncontested in an instant. Because the disco dancers can recur these powerful actions, King Rex can go on a rampage multiple times. When you combine the ability for uncontested bases with some VP farming cards, you can do some pretty special things. The one downside to Last Dance is that you might become minion starved, but the King Rex Uber plays show that you don't need many minions, just the right ones. You still have the War Raptors, and War Raptors is one of the rare minions that I like with Staying Alive. Staying Alive is an odd card, as it wants a copy of a minion in play and in the discard pile at the same time, with the idea that you might play it that turn, or maybe later. But that really suits the War Raptor, as the first War Raptor is +5 power and the second War Raptor is +7. With the War Raptors, if you use them on a 3-1 split, the last War Raptor will suffer, but this gives you more flexibility. While there are better recursion cards out there, having the extra option during your turn certainly helps. I'm So Excited helps with the War Raptors as well, as it allows them to spread out and consolidate later to go from 3 to 15. The Dinosaurs have moderate destruction to help slow the game down. By buffing the rollers on a previous turn, it becomes easier to avoid destroying yourself with the laser tops, as you should not have any minions of power 2 or less. But the Dinosaurs also have the prerequisite heavy standard actions that can cause destruction. These are the types of actions that Dancing King can copy without restriction. This means that you can instead use Celebration to have one of those actions destroy a minion with less power, copying it onto another opposing minion, then using a copied augmentation to finish off a lower hanging base. If you reverse the order, then you'd be surprised what you could take out. Survival of the Fittest is particularly potent because you can take out up to 4 minions at the same time if you position yourself accordingly. It also helps to ensure that you have the proper minions in play for your key plays. I was worried about a possible anti-synergy, but the Divas work really well with Wildlife Preserve, which prevents your minions from being affected by other players' actions. The Dancing King can steal great actions and apply them to your minions, but the Divas cannot. Therefore, you could safely avoid the effect of the action, since you cannot copy it anyway without loss of utility. Thankfully, the heavily errata Tooth and Claw and Guns now prevents other players' abilities from affecting it, so you can still augmentation your way to victory. Having the right cards in hand at the right time is the key to this team. Do whatever you need to do in order to draw cards. This combination can advance so slowly and then explode later that they can cross large gaps, so playing conservatively is an option. They can do a little bit of everything, as they also have defensive abilities to combine with the Disco Dancer versatility. They have raw power, destruction, extra plays, movement, specials that can change power, action recursion, and slight minion recursion. They have Dancing King, the ultimate X Factor. As I mentioned before, their biggest weakness is a lack of card draw, as drawing the wrong cards in the wrong order will really slow them down. They do have a good spread of actions as far as timing is concerned, so they aren't weighed down by terminal actions, which is typically a dinosaur problem. But you need the right actions to align with the proper minions. Another weakness is that, outside of I Will Survive, they have no minion recursion. If you destroy or discard their better minions, they might never see them again. Staying Alive cannot target King Rex or Dancing King. You might often lead with Divas, and attacking them quickly can reduce many of their plays. The great thing about this team is that they still have a vast playbook, but every hindrance matters significantly. You also have to watch out for factions that specialize in hand manipulation. This team has crazy high upside that it can repeat, but not indefinitely. They can attack you in a variety of interesting ways, and most of their minions are relevant, which adds a lot of intrigue. They never feel overpowered, but they just work together and can go toe-to-toe with many of the teams in this tournament while being specifically designed to combat a few favorites. Last year, Card Draw Order both saved and sank the Dinosaurs in different games, so how will the Disco Dancers compare? I'm really excited to find out. What do you think of Disco Dancing Dinosaurs? Let me know in the comments. That's it for this team. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let's shut it down.